Hey guys, this is Matt with another video for you today. I just wanted to say thank you to you all that have been watching the channel and the ones that have recently subscribed. I gladly appreciate it. I'm trying to do the best I can to keep the content going. I know it's been about a minute. But anyways, I wanted to share something with you that I feel like is worthy for this channel. And this story is about how me and Spartan ended up going to Primus's Onward and Upward tour. I felt like it was an event that's worth discussing for sure. But before I do that, I would like to sit here and explain my history with Primus. I didn't get into Primus until about my freshman year of high school. The first album that was introduced to me was Pork Soda. And Pork Soda has like Welcome to This World, well, My Name is Mud on there, DMV, Hamburger Train, all those songs, and I was immediately hooked. And not just by the virtuosity of the players themselves, but just by the simple fact of the subject matter in the songs. Like, I've never heard of an album called Pork Soda before, and it's just wild. And then as I started going down the rabbit hole, I started getting familiarized with their other stuff. Frizzle Fries, one I really enjoy a lot. Sailing Through the Seas of Cheese, Brown Album. What else? Anti-Pop. Those albums. I think the last one I had kept up with was Green Naugahyde. And that one famously had Lee Van Cleef as a single for it. But anyways, I was just enamored with the technicality of Les Claypool and Larry Lalonde and Herb. And even Brain, their other drummer, to a degree. I felt like he was a worthy addition as far as a drummer was concerned as well. Just as of recently, I had heard that, or I think everybody knows, that Herb had decided to leave due to health concerns and things, and they held drum auditions, which are currently on the Primus channel on YouTube. If you haven't seen them, check them out. They run through a list of drummers, and each drummer had a distinct style, and they were trying to find who was the perfect fit for the gigs. They ended up going with John Hoffman, who in his own right is a very talented player. He has a channel on YouTube too where it's his own drum takes on certain TV shows, theme songs, things like that I was really interested in. Like, he did the Flintstones and the Jetsons, and those are the things off the top of my head that I can remember as far as what he played with. But if that gives you kind of any idea of who he is, it felt like he could potentially be a perfect fit for the group. And of course, he made it and everything. It's the first date he played on this tour. I've noticed that Primus has come through Paso Robles a couple times. I know the first time they came through, they did the Farewell to Kings show where they played Farewell to Kings by Rush in its entirety, the whole entire album. And then they showed up about a couple years later doing a regular Primus set, which I kind of had the mindset of like, well, Primus will come back. I'll see them eventually. But I felt like it was really important to go see them this time around, considering their new drummer and considering past experiences to where I would take those things for granted and then the band wouldn't come back. So I felt like I really needed to act up on this. I felt like this show was going to be pretty important. It was about an hour drive, about an hour, 20 minutes from where we live. We live roughly around the Fresno area, so it didn't take too long to get up there. But the weather was drastically different. Like over here, it's like being cooked in an oven. It's super duper hot. But when you go over there, there's a nice breeze. You got the ocean bringing in all the sea air and things. It was really nice experience as far as the weather was concerned. The doors open around 6:30. Which was usually different because I noticed in the past, normally, like any concerts that I've gone to, usually the door opens around maybe like 4 o'clock. It opens a little bit earlier, but nonetheless, it was great at the time that it opened up because the sun was going down and it was going to be a lot cooler for everybody. So, and then my history with the Vina Robles Amphitheater, I've only gone there one other time. It was Slayer, Lamb of God, and Behemoth. And that was on Slayer's final tour, which, by the way, was really good. And we loved the venue a lot so much that it was even better to go see these guys here. And I was glad that it and I was glad that it happened to work out that way. Excuse me. They did have an opener. His name was Ty Segall, and he had his band up there, and they were more of like a straightforward kind of rock group with like with hints of like some heavy stuff, kind of like Sabbathy kind of sounds and things. But nonetheless, Ty Segall, just wanted to give him his props. I think he was a great guitar player. Every other song, there was like some sort of lead or some sort of solo that he just, played his butt off, more or less. So, nonetheless, his set was really good. He played for maybe about 45 minutes. So now we move on and we talk about the headliners of the show, Primus. Primus was awesome. Everybody played to the full capabilities. Les Claypool was on fire, Larry Lalonde. Even their new drummer, John Hoffman, was really good. And they were all on point. They were all locked in. They were all on fire, like, as far as that. And just, I was so eager to hear what that Primus sound was going to sound like in a live setting, just from my experience. And it sounded wonderful. Without giving too much away, I don't want to give a set list away, and all I can tell you is, at least at my show, it seemed like they focused more, the most stuff they played off of was, I noticed they gave Sailing Through the Seas of Cheese a lot of love, so they played like 3 or 4 songs off that, and they showed the Brown album. They showed love to the Brown album. They played about 4 songs off that. My personal favorite is Fizzle Fry, and they played only 1 song off that. They did play their new song, Little Lord Fentanyl, and that was great. Going back to the tryouts and everything, I know their new drummer that they got is from Louisiana. He had a New Orleans Saints hat on. And Spartan was watching it with me too, and she goes, "Well, if I decide I ever want to go to a show, I think I'm gonna rock the Saints hat to show support to the new drummer." And she sure did. She showed up. She had a nice Saints hat and everything, just ready to show some support. They played a really good set. They played about 14 songs. Their closer, I didn't even realize they were even gonna play. Or I didn't even think they were going to play, which was such a great surprise and everything. The turnout was wonderful. We were on the floor, and it felt spaced out enough. There was a lot of people there, but it felt really spaced, which was good for us. We're usually used to being on the floor and all sardined into this box and everything, and swaying back and forth, and it being all uncomfortable and stuff. But the one thing I didn't expect was, I expected there to be mosh pits to certain degrees, but I didn't expect there to be mosh pits to that level. And those mosh pits were buck wild. They were crazy. So, it was such a surprise. I can't even tell you how much of a surprise it was to me. But anyways, the show, they played about, I want to say about an hour 45, maybe hour and a half, give or take. So we ended up getting out of there about 11 o'clock, 11:30. We went to Denny's. I grabbed a Superbird, and then we headed back over to the Fresno area. And then that was it. And what a great experience it was. I couldn't have been more happier to go to this show. I will definitely be attending more Primus shows if they come through the area. And I wanted to give a shout out to their drummer, man, who completely crushed it and respected the drum parts of those albums, but added his own take onto it, which was wonderful. And he played very well. Him and the band meshed really good. Before I get ahead of myself, we did get some merchandise, which I'm going to go ahead and show you really, really quick. Alright guys, this is what we picked up from the Primus show here. As you can see, this is Spartan shirt. It is a wizard riding a pig. As you can see, it's all tie-dyed out and everything. So that was one of many shirts that they did have at the show. They did have a Frizzle Fry sweater that I did want, but I could only afford to get a couple of the shirts. And as you can see, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. And then as you can see right here, this is my shirt. It is the official logo for the tour. It's the Onward and Upward Summer Tour 2025. As you can see, the image is pretty awesome. The logo that they got for it is pretty cool. The font is awesome. I dig it all. It is pretty swell. And then if you see on the back here, it says Primus again, stating the name of the tour. And as you can see right there, there's our date right there for 7/5, Paso Robles, California. I thank the band and everything for coming out to Paso Robles, but I really wanted to thank the staff and the security over at Vina Robles Amphitheater. They were nothing but polite and sweet and showed me nothing but kindness the entire time that I was there, because there have been certain venues where you would show up and it was very questionable on how people treated you. But going to this venue, I felt very welcomed to be there. And also too, if you just get a chance and Primus comes through your town, go check them out. Check them out on this tour. It was great. You will not be disappointed. They sounded wonderful. They sounded exactly like the albums. Nothing's changed. And like I said, John Hoffman's take on these songs is awesome, and it enhances what's already great about Primus and makes them better. So I just wanted to thank you all for watching the video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. If you'd like to hit that subscribe button, that'd be wonderful too. And there'll be more where that came from. We do anything based off of music, movies, comic books, anything in that nature. So give it a watch and give it a subscribe, like I said. I'd really appreciate it. So without further ado, I just want to say thank you, and you guys have a great day. Bye.